and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Suzanne Butler. And I'm happy that you said yes. And I hope I pronounced your name right. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Ooh. Okay, so let me introduce you a little bit to the audience. You have set a tone for change in people's life with the use of feng shui to create balance and joy in all aspects of life. And I want to know how you are doing this because I never spoke to a person practicing this yet.
It's complicated, but it's also not complicated. It's not complicated for me because obviously I know what I'm looking for and how to do it. But when you look at things on a base level, people get very confused. Um, Basically, I harness the energies in your home to either improve what's going on or reduce bad things that are going on. So if you're fighting with your spouse, for example, you might have energies in your home that are creating this argy-bargy or angst with your partner. So we neutralize them and
Oh,
we improve relationships. You might have issues with money. There might be energies in your home that actually are not good for business or not good for holding on to money. So we neutralize them, we fix them, we enhance where we need to turn things around. So it's my little bit of magic. That's what I can only call it, really, because we don't know how it works. We just know it does. And
oh.
the absolute benefit of it is that you don't even need to believe in it for it to work.
Oh wow, I see what you mean. So how can I imagine you get to people's homes and change something, the arrangement of furniture or things?
No, not even furniture, because when it comes to your home,
Mhm,
just take a bedroom, for example. Your bed can really only go in one place, right? You
mhm.
walk into the bedroom and typically it's going to have one place that it goes. And there's so many people that panic about, I can't get my bed in the best position. Is it on a solid wall? Yes, then that's the best position. Like we work with what we've got. We can't worry too much about things. The only time that we can worry is when we're building something. So if we're building a home or designing a home, that's when we can go in and put everything perfectly where possible. But if you're moving into a house or buying a house, there's very little we can actually physically change. We just work with what we've got.
Mhm.
And typically, yeah, like for a bedroom, the bed is going to be in the best position because that's where a solid wall is. But the magic comes with placing remedies. So each area of your home represents an area of your life. And with those energies and what we call flying stars, because I am a flying stars practitioner, each home is very different. So your home will be very different to your next door neighbor's home. And what you require will be very different to what they require, because it's based on where the house sits on the land, when it was constructed, whether you've done any renovations, all number of things. So that's why having an actual professional come in rather than trying to do it yourself, it solves a lot of problems because we get it right and we know what we're looking for and there's no guesswork. And that's where a lot of people start guessing, well, this person put that there, so I've got to put that there too. When that rarely works because your needs are very different to somebody else's. Um, so that's what's it's nuanced, it's multi-layered, it works in so many different ways.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't know this, but what I can say is so the street I'm living in is a new built street. It is new and there are 13 houses. And they were all constructed the same way. So you have 12 times the same houses from the
Yep,
outside. Looks,
yep,
of course, you could choose the color of your painting outside, whatever. But I found it boring, all the same plans, for
yep,
example. And then
yep.
what you say, I can relate to that because in the inside it looks differently. for
Yeah.
everyone.
But like, when you've got in the UK, they've got the row houses, the terraced row houses, and usually they will follow around like on a curve. So there'll be a street that's on a bit of a curve. So those homes would have been built at exactly the same time. This is a really good example of where the energies are different with neighbors. The homes are all built at the same time, but they'll all be facing different directions. So they won't all be facing 0 north or south, or they'll all be facing very slight different directions. And that's where the change comes. So you might be facing north and have one experience, and then your neighbor might be 15 degrees difference, and that will make a huge difference. And that then when you look at a street where there's always a problem house, there's that house that's a problem, there's people that are constantly moving in and out, or there's police there all the time, or drug raids, or relationship problems, all sorts of things like that. It's because that house is positioned where it's positioned. It was built when it was built, and it's the energies inside that are creating it. So it's not a coincidence that people keep moving in, having problems over and over again. It's literally the energy of the house that's creating it. So we can reverse it though. We can change it. So that's why, like, I've just been working with a client who at the beginning of the year had a major medical episode, mental health, all sorts. And she just rang me, she's a friend, and she said, can you come over? And I went, yes, of course I can come over. And I'm sitting there talking to her. I said, when did this start? She said, oh, it would have been end of January, early February. I said, I need to do the feng shui on this house. There is something going on in this house that's creating this. And no word of a lie, there were 4 or 5 areas in the home which brought up mental health problems and health problems and a number of other things. So that's how specific it can be. If you didn't have those pre-existing issues, would it happen? Possibly not. But if you do have underlying concerns or problems, it will amplify. And I've experienced it in my own life. With domestic violence, my ex-husband, we moved into a particular home, and within 24 hours, he got physical with me. And now I know why. It was the house. Would it have happened to everybody lived there? No, and it hadn't. It hadn't happened in the history of the house. But because he was already going down that path, that was going to create a problem. And it did very quickly. So I urge anyone who's having any issues in their life that it just happened and they don't understand why, please speak to a practitioner, because they can remedy and they can turn things around for you. You do not need to suffer and live through that. And especially if you find that it happened at the beginning of the year, that's when our energies changed. And we've just moved into a brand new cycle. Houses have come out of 20-year locks where money and relationship problems would have existed, and they'll be okay now. But others have gone into them. So if you have been suffering since February, going, why is everything going so wrong? It's your house. I can guarantee it.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. I never heard of this before. So thank you for sharing your awareness about that. I will learn about it. I will dive deeper into that. Thank you so much. And my next question is, what inspired you to get into that area or industry, or make it your profession?
10 years ago, my life was, like I've just explained, it was horrible. There was illness, there was relationship problems, had no money, didn't matter what I did, nothing was working to turn anything around. I was, had business coaches, talking to accountants. The businesses themselves, they looked quite profitable, but there was no money. And it was literally a last-ditch effort to try something. I knew when I discovered it that I had to, this is what I needed to do. and it was the last thing I could try. And within days, things started turning around. Money started landing in the bank account and staying there. It ended the toxic relationship, which wasn't a bad thing. Um, it just makes positive changes really quickly. If you implement and you do it properly and you make a concerted effort to get it done really quickly, you can experience change within hours, days, even. So it's quite powerful.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. And who inspires you? I mean, are there coaches or mentors, book recommendations?
Um, Inspires me. My clients inspire me when I see them having wins. Like when I can see where they've come from and where they currently are, and then the small wins, big wins that they have that, 6 months prior, they wouldn't have even thought about doing. I had one lady leave a very toxic, violent marriage within days of me giving her a report because I'd given her the strength and the knowledge to see that this was not going to change and not going to fix her relationship, and she got out. Um, are things fixed for her? No, they're not. Like I'm still working with her to get a great outcome for her life, but she's gotten out of that toxic situation. Um, Others have had massive windfalls. Few $100,000 come their way. Um, but other people that I'm inspired by people that keep going,
Mhm.
that just keep picking up and keep going. They don't give up. They never say die attitude, and want more from their life. We as women tend to look after everybody else first. So I believe it's really important for women to put their oxygen mask on first. And if they're going to be happy and living the life that they want to be living, then that's only good for everyone around them. So yeah, I have plenty of people that inspire me, um, but no one popular. Just the average person inspires me.
I love what you said about seeing the results of your clients. And then, of course, it is inspiring to see how it works or that it works. Yes, thank you so much. And how do you inspire other people?
Um, that's a really tricky question because I just do what I do.
Mhm.
I've always been this way. And I know a lot of people have told me that I'm very inspiring. And I'm like, yeah, but this is how I always have been. I don't know any other way. Um, I think the same reason why other people inspire me is because of the way I inspire others. I just keep going. Um, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. This is 100% my purpose. I've been given this gift of my intuition and being able to read homes and energy. And I just wish everyone would actually do it because the effect it would actually have on the planet if everybody had a home that was supporting them to their greater good. Can you imagine how beautiful that would be? We'd all be educated, we'd all have money, there'd be this awesome infrastructure of goodness out there. It's like a lighthouse type situation where if my home is done, that's supporting maybe 4 people, and then your house is done, and that's supporting 4 people. It's like a lighthouse. The light extends out, and we're all connected. We get rid of we live a life of gratitude. We remove that toxicity and negative mindset. um, it's only beneficial to the world at large. And your mindset is can be either positive or negative. And when you're around negative people, what happens? You become negative. So if we switch our way of thinking to one of positivity and gratitude, then the problems we have in this world will slowly cease to exist. And it's even more important for the next 20 years that women in particular, and I'm seeing it here in Australia already, stand up and be heard and heal. We need to heal, because if we don't heal, we are not moving forward. The people that do in the next 20 years undergo a lot of deep healing and inner work. It's either you do that or you get left behind. So I know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be up the front, leading the charge, because I don't want to live a substandard negative life. I want to live a life full of joy. And I think everyone should be aiming for that as well.
Oh, thank you so much. We get to choose. This is so right. We get to choose if we want to live a life in poverty, misery,
Yeah,
negativity, or if you say yes to abundance, prosperity, and a good energy flowing home. I don't know if I can say this,
yeah,
but you know what I mean. And thank you for
yeah,
doing this work. When you were speaking, I was thinking about homeless people, and you said it in a little sentence at the beginning, how beautiful it would be if everyone would have a home feeling that way, secure and rich as well, if I may use the
yeah,
word, wealthy, healthy, and happy, and then the homeless people, or the people, they are not happy in their homes or the place they are in. And on the other hand as well, home as a metaphor, home, to feel home, and this could be everywhere, but
yeah.
more and important within yourself, to feel home within yourself. This is so
Absolutely.
important. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much. Okay, I want to ask you about your gifts and talents. Of course, we spoke about that already, but my question: what are your gifts and talents?
My gifts and talents. I have a knowing. My Claire is knowing. I'm very intuitive, and um, I was actually talking to one of my mentors today about this. I said, I don't understand. Someone will ask me a question and I know the answer and I don't know how I know the answer. She said, have you heard of quantum leaping? I said, no, not really. She said, look it up. Um, I've just got intuition, and people do come to me when they're wanting advice. And I think it's because I'm honest with them. I don't sugarcoat anything, and I say things with kindness. Um, if someone's coming to me and they're having a relationship problem, I can highlight the why, but also say to them, I'm not telling you to leave your partner,
Mhm.
but this isn't going to get any better. And these are the reasons why. That's your choice to make. But nothing's going to change. Same things with money, mindset around money, especially in business. People saying, I can't, I can't, I can't. Well, you can, you're choosing not to. And if you say you can't, well, then you can't. But that's your choice, because we can if we choose to. And that's the biggest thing. We always have that choice to improve our life or to take a chance. With my sales, I'm not a chaser. I do not chase people. You either want to work with me because you know you're going to get a result, or you don't because you're too scared. And if you're too scared, I'll be here when you're ready, but I won't be hounding you, because I don't want to work with someone who's not ready. Because when I do work with someone, we get results very quickly, and you have to do the work. Because if you don't do the work and you still come to me complaining, I will call you out.
Ooh.
It's as simple as that.
Hmm.
I don't have this red hair for no reason.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. What is your goal for 2024?
My goal is to help 100 women balance their homes, which in turn will be 400 people that are living in supported homes. And that's, if they're in business, it's only going to improve their bottom line. It's going to improve their profit margins. It's going to improve how they're seen in their fame and reputation. And it's going to improve their family life as well, whether it's relationships with their children or their partner, obviously money, health, all manner of things. So working with one, we don't know the magic with feng shui is you think you might know what you want to change or what needs work, but whatever actually needs work, your house will tell you, and it will keep hitting you up the side of the head until you deal with it. So if it's a money problem, it will stop you making money until you work out, well, why? And it's usually because you haven't done something. You're either refusing to spend money, or refusing to do your tax return because you think you're going to have to pay money, which is what happened to me. That's my own experience. I didn't want to do my tax return because I didn't want to pay tax. So I thought if I didn't do my tax return, then I wouldn't have to pay the tax. But I needed to do my tax return in order for the money to then flow, which it did once I finally did it. So there's always a reason, always. And once your home is balanced, it's never the feng shui. It's something you have not done. It's as simple as that. So I would just sit and remind, how's this area of your home? Have you put the remedy in? No? Well, then what do you want me to do? I can't help you. So it's all, I love it. I adore it. It's just so interesting, and it never lies. Never.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the results never never lie. That's true. You can see it in the outside world because it's a reflection. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, I have one last question to you, and it is when people reach out to you after listening to this episode, do you have a special offer or services?
I have a range of freebies on my website. I have a free manifestation challenge that they can sign up for. I have a quiz on my website that will tell them what type of house they live in. And I've actually got a masterclass starting on the 16th, where I'm going over fortnightly masterclasses about each aspect of your life, where that is in your home, and how you can effectively amplify the energy to create whatever you're wanting to create. So I've got a lot of things. I'm very, very busy on socials. My website's amazing. I have lots to give away. I can talk about it for hours. Or they can just reach out to me, really.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I could talk for hours too. It's so inspiring and interesting. I will check out your website and we will put it in the show notes, of course. And if you have one last message to the audience, please.
You deserve better than good. Your life, you might think there's nothing wrong with your life. You might think, oh, everything's really good in my life, but why don't you deserve great? Feng Shui can give that to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I learned so much today. Thank you. And see you in the next episode.